Okay, now it's asking us to load the filament. So just like the video shows, we've already put it through the guide tube that it's doing now. And now once it's in the guide tube, we're going to load it into the top. So we already have it in the guide tube. So let's go hit continue. Extruder is heating up. So we're going to wait for it to heat up. Okay, now it's asking us to feed the filament into the extruder. So we're going to fill it in and push it down until we feel it catch. And when we feel it catch, it'll pull it. We got to do it while that engine's running. And then once we feel it catch, we can replace the plastic over top. And it's asking us to watch it in the bottom to make sure it's coming out, just like in the picture. We're going to watch. And once we see it, we're going to click continue so it can stop feeding. So we see it, we'll click continue because we saw it coming out of the bottom, and the engine will stop. Very nice. If by chance you don't get a chance to feed it the filament while the engine's running and it stops, you can always hit the back button and it'll reheat it again, and it'll go through the process where you can feed it again. No problem. So now it says get started. So first we're going to reach in and we're going to pull out that excess that it fed, and then we're going to close the door again. So we're going to click get started, and it already has a print down here at the bottom for us to print. Now I don't want to waste time waiting for that print, so I'm going to reduce the size. So if I click on that print, come over here to the left, I can scale it down if I wanted to. Instead of 100%, I could scale it like that, or I could actually put it a number. Instead of 100, I could make it 80. It'll be, or 50. Let's do 50. It'll reduce the print time. There it goes. So it reduced the size of our object. So now that we have it, we're just going to click on print and start print. There it goes. And if we want to watch it in the camera, we can go to our monitor over here on the right hand side, and it will show us in the camera what is going on at all times. It also shows us our temperature at all times right here. So it's heating up to 180 so it can print. And at any time during our printing we need to cancel or pause it. We have our cancel button and we have our pause button right here. And again, that's all under monitor. So if I click monitor at any time, I could pause it if I need to, cancel it without a problem, and see what's going on. So we can see that our build plate is getting into position in the camera. We can watch it, and it is going to start printing. Position found. Okay, now it's doing its final heating and about to print. There we go. See it moving into position. And it is beginning to print. You can watch it on the camera printing. And the first layer that it prints down is what's called the raft. Every object that you print, it's going to print a flat little table first, and then it'll print your object on top of that table. That little table that it creates first is called the raft. That's what it's doing now. Okay, under monitor, we're watching it print. Also, you could see the time. It says it took 8 minutes total to print, and so far 4 minutes and 17 seconds have gone by, so we have a little over 3 minutes left on this print. Okay, now that the print is finished, the build plate has lowered and it's asking us if we want to save a photo. We can click here and it will take a photo and we can save it in our computer of the final product. Okay, so we're just going to exit that and we are going to let it cool for a few minutes. We let it settle for a few minutes.
Take a picture and put it on our
Now, while we're waiting a few minutes for our object to cool, we want to unload the filament so it doesn't get jammed in there. After every print we do, we want to unload it. And let me show you what that looks like. So we're going to go over here to change, and we're just going to simply click unload. And it is preparing the Smart Extruder to unload the filament. And what it's doing is it's heating it up hot enough so it could extrude what's in there. Okay, so it says unload the filament. Now it says we can pull the plastic back and pull the filament out. And we did that. So we're going to click done. And that's it. Now we have the filament out. We can remove our object that is down here. So we're going to open it up and we're going to remove our object. So the best way to remove the object is to just use a knife or an X-Acto knife, and you're just going to get under the edge with that sharp blade and pry it open without harming the tape if possible. You don't want to cut the tape. So we're just going to get underneath there and get enough, and barely, you can hear it crack, and there it goes. So we didn't cut the tape, so that's good. Okay, so we've already done our first test print that comes with the firmware. So now we're going to print our first object. So to do that, we're going to go down here to Start on our desktop or computer and type in Maker so we can get our MakerBot software come up. Click it on, and there it is. So as we can see down here on the bottom, it has recognized that it's a Replicator Mini. If it did not say that, we would go up here to Devices, and we would make sure we can select the type of device and make sure it's Replicator Mini. Because if it's anything else, it's not going to be correct. So Replicator Mini is what we want. Very good. So there's two ways of getting files to print. One way is your students sharing .stl file in Google Drive with you, and I've taken a few of my students have shared me some of their STL files in Google Drive, and I went ahead and downloaded them to this laptop, and we can get those. Or you could go explore and get ones made by other students throughout the world. So if we can hit explore right here on the top, we could go over here to the search and type in, say we wanted a dog, hit enter, and there are different types of dogs we can print. Okay, we'll print this one right here. So to print it, you click it on, and then it says prepare, but before we do that, it may have some special instructions. We can see the description, look for instructions if we need it. Use the raft. We always have a raft, so that's good. So we're going to just click prepare, and definitely wanted to say .stl because that's the only thing our MakerBot accepts is that type of file. So do we want the dog or the bone? Okay, maybe we'll do the bone. I'll click prepare, and you can see it's downloading, and there's the bone right there. Okay, so when the object is on the build plate, we can do a few things with it. We go over here and click this on. We got to first click on our object, highlighted in yellow, and then we click this on. It allows us to change the position of our object, or we could just center it. Usually centering is the best thing. You always want your things in the center as much as possible. Okay, this other one right here allows us to move our object by changing the rotation. I like the rotation of it now. It's flat on the build plate. We want as much of it that's flat on the build plate as possible. So that works. I could even make it say lay flat, which is what we want in most cases. Okay, and then the last thing is scaling it. We can scale our object. I click on the red. We can reduce different sizes of it, or we can scale the whole thing by putting in 80% or 50%. Okay, so we want to do this to 90% of the size. I hit enter, and it just made it smaller. Okay, so very good. And when we are ready to print, we would just click print. But right now it's not allowing us to print because this is not highlighted. I'm clicking it on, but it won't. So in case that happens, you just unplug your USB cord from your laptop or computer and then plug it back in. And it should recognize. So there it goes. Now you see it's print. So we just click print and we can print that. So let me show you how to get the other kind from a student download. So now that this is highlighted, I can go up here to File, or excuse me, Edit, and click Cut. So it will cut that out. So we're starting with a clean build plate. So you always want a clean one to add your objects. So to add an object, a student saved, I'm going to go to Add File right here. And it opens right up to where my things are that I've saved. So I got Mr. Jaws here that is student modified. So if I click it on, it's right there on the build plate. And again, if I go to Add File, all these with the .stl, again, my student shared it with me in Google Drive, and then I downloaded it to my computer here. So I can easily access it. And again, make sure it says .stl. Okay. So again, if I highlight it, I want to reduce the size because I don't want that large of a print. I'm going to reduce it to 50%. Okay, very good. So we should be ready to print. Go over here and click print. And then start print. And we hear our printer start up. It said it failed. Please see MakerBot. Okay. It's out of filament. So it says we need to load the filament because we always unload it after every print. We have to load it. So to load it, we're going to go over here to Monitor and then to Change, and we're going to load filament. So it's preparing. So we'll wait, and again, our software program will prompt us through every step, which is why I love MakerBot software, because it tells us every step what we need to do. So right now it says for us to wait. So it says now it's heated up. Push your filament into the smart extruder until you see it, till you feel it being pulled. So we're going to pull the plastic back, that cover back, and then load that little filament. And we feel it pulling, we're going to put the plastic back, let go, and then watch for it to come out the bottom. Wait until you see the filament begin to extrude. We see it, so we're going to click Done, and it will stop it. So we came out the bottom and we click Done, so it stopped, and now it's ready to print. So we're going to go ahead and take out that excess that came out. All right, very good. So now we're going to go back up here to Print, click Print, and start print. Now that we've loaded the filament, we can print. There it goes. It's going to print the bone. Okay, now say your filament jams while you're printing. The best thing you want to do, or the only thing you want to do if it jams, is go over here to Change and unload the filament and then reload it. is what you want to do to take care of your jam. And again, to unload it, just click that, and it says please wait, and it's heating up. Okay, now it's saying please wait, filament is retracted. Do not remove the filament yet. So we're still waiting. And right now we can see it at the bottom. It's extruding the rest of that filament that was in there. And now it says now it's safe to remove. So we're going to pull the plastic back at the top and remove that filament. And click done when we're done doing that. Okay. So, let's start